Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at how to create this dashboard that you can see on your screen using Power BI. The data set is a health and safety data set. Currently we are looking at the minor issues based on the color. You can filter for major issues and also for critical. Then you can also go back to minor. You can select the date, the year, as well as the month of interest. When you hover on this area chart, it gives you the quantity of incident or the quantity of the particular metric, as the case may be. So let's get started. We will start by creating the background for this report. So I am using PowerPoint, and first thing I'm going to do is to insert my shape. I would use a rounded rectangle. Adjust the edges, then add my fill color, no outline. I'll duplicate that. For the header, this is going to be a different fill color, that's black. Then I will group all and save as picture. So we're going to be saving this as an SVG file. Save. Here on Power BI, we're going to import the background. So I'll click on the canvas, click on the format painter, canvas background, and I'll browse through images, get that in. Right now you cannot see anything because it's transparency set to 100%. Now let's take a look at our data set. So we have the data here. We have the date, incident, name, list, loss hours, injuries, vehicle incidents, site, business unit, severity, and most frequent injury. This is actually a dummy data set, and the link to this file is in the description below if you want to follow along. I also have a date table here, simple date table, and have already sorted the month name by month number. I've also created relationship between the date table and the data based on the date. So if you want to check the relationship, this is the relationship between the data and the date, and it's a many to one relationship. So I'm going to be creating a few measures to help us with this, especially the percentage month on month. So I'll start with the first one. So this is the first measure I'm going to be adding to this report, the incident month on month. Basically what this measure is doing is that we have the first variable, which is calculating the last month, which is basically the sum of the incidents at this present time. And we're using the previous month function to get the previous month before the one that we are looking at. Then the next variable is percentage month on month, which is dividing the sum of incident by the last month value, then minus 1 to get a percentage. Then on the return part, we have a format function that is going to format the percent month on month to be in percentage, and also concatenated with this particular arrow up or down. But with this if condition, if the percent month on month is greater than 0, then arrow up. If the percent month on month is less than 0, arrow down. So I'm going to be duplicating this particular measure for injuries, lost hours, and near miss, and also vehicle incidents. So I've copied and pasted the measure like a duplicate. So I want to change this to injuries. So right now, when you click on incident, you can see that all incidents in the measure is highlighted. So in order to highlight the three of them and change them at once, you can hold down the Shift, Control, and L to highlight the three. So if I'm changing one, every other thing is also being changed. Then for near miss, then we have the lost hours, and finally we have the vehicle incident. So we have all the measures that we need. So right now I'm going to group them and add them to a folder. So I'll highlight them all. Incident vehicle. So we have them arranged in this folder. And let's start creating the report. We start with creating a slicer. I'll select the old slicer. Adjust that. I'll add the month name there. Then format it. Then I will duplicate this so that we can use that for year as well. Then we're going to use the new card visual and create incident, adjust the header, title, then add a reference label. So for incident, I'm going to be adding the reference label of incident month on month. Call out, reduce that to 25. I don't want the divider, and the title of the reference label, I'll select incident, under the title incident, then change the field name, then the value. So we're going to be adding conditional formatting to the reference label, rules, data. We're going to be using the incident month on month. If the value contains window key and dot to get this emoji part, arrow up, then show a green color. Then another row, if the value contains arrow down, show a red color. Okay. So right now we are at -3%. Next thing I'm going to do is to clean up the card and padding. So the card is fine now. I adjust this a little. Next, I'm going to add uh, an area chart just beside the card for incident and month name. So right now it is being filtered. I don't want it to be filtered. So I'll select the month name slicer, format, edit interaction, and turn this off. So I'll clean up the area chart, size and style, turn off background. The title of this is off already. So let me just value off and title off. Adjust this. Turn off the title of the chart as well. Line color change from blue to this shade of green. Then finally, I will remove the background of this card. Then group these two together. So I'm going to replicate this for near miss, injuries, vehicle incident, and lost hours. Now we have all. We have incident, near miss, injuries, vehicle incident, and lost hours. I just replicated what I did for incident. Then substituting the incidents with either near miss, injuries, and vehicles or lost hours, as the case may be. So the next thing we're going to be looking at is the incident by site. So this is going to be a bar chart. Get that here. Adjust. So we want incidents by site. So I'm going to clean this up. We want the title. We don't want the y-axis title. And for the x-axis, we don't want the title and the value. We're going to turn on the detail label. Then the bar itself, we're going to change the color to blue. Then adjust the title name. Incident by site. So next one, I'm going to turn off the background as well. Next one is incident by business unit. So I'll copy this and paste, adjust it, take that down. Then I'm going to adjust this a little to come up here. So for business unit, I'm going to change site and substitute with business unit. So we have that in there as well. So the next thing we're going to be looking at is the most frequent injuries. So for that, I'm going to insert a text box for my title. Type most frequent injuries. Okay, turn off the background as well. Then I'm going to be using a new card. For this, I'm going to add the most frequent injury column, and I'm going to just add the count. Then edit this card. Yeah, I'm going to turn off the background as well as for the card itself. I'm going to turn off the background and the shadow. Then change this to finger. So before now, I'm going to first of all filter this card itself using this most frequent. So I want this to show the finger, and I'm going to edit this to show finger. Then I am going to add an image. Finger, image, browse. So I'm going to add an icon. So this particular icon, you can get this icon from icon8.com. I'm going to add the link to the website in the description below. So the next thing I'm going to do is to duplicate this particular card so that it can also represent ankle, arm, foot, lower back by just filtering for which one. Now we have for all of them. So if you look at the report that we are trying to replicate, you find that this is just for the minor. We have the measure and the critical. So if you look closely, it's actually similar to what we have in the minor. So we are going to replicate this minor page into three places, then filter the pages by severity. Rename. So I'm basically going to change the colors of the chart and bars as well as the icon to fit each and every one of the severity that we want to represent. Then just like now that we have minor, what we are going to do is to add a filter to this page on the severity, filter on this page, select it for just minor. You get. So that is what I'm going to do for major now. I'm going to select, add a filter, severity, filter the page for major. You can see it's filtered for major. Then for critical, add severity to the page and filter for critical. So I'm going to quickly edit the format of these two to fit the color theme that we are using. Now we have our three pages, minor, major, and critical, basically filtered by severity on each page. So we're going to be adding the title of this chart. I'm going to use a text box, format that 28, then adjust the name as well as the font color, make it white, and also turn off the background. So we have the title. Next thing is to add our page navigator. So to do that, I'll click on Insert, Button, Navigator, Page Navigator. So I have my page navigators here. So I'll adjust that, bring them on here. So I'm going to be editing this to actually use icons. Start with the default color. We want the color to be white all through, and location bottom. So fill color for that. turn off the fill color for all. So right now we have them here. Next thing I'm going to do is to insert my images and the icons I'm going to be using. Let's start here. So the first one, I need to view this in medium. So this is for, I have the size at 41 and 54. Then next one is for major, size 41 and 54. Then finally, I have for critical. So to have this to for this to work for us, I'm going to quickly reduce the font size of this. Just probably reduce it to 9. Then on selected as well to 9. Okay. So for this to work, actually, right now you have the images in front. So I'm going to highlight them and group. Then go to the selection pane. This is the group. I want the images to be at the back of the page navigator. So I'm going to push the page navigator up. Then close my selection pane. So right now, when you hover, instead of hovering on just the images, you are clicking on the page navigator. So if I click on major, for instance, now holding down my control key, it's taking me to the major page. But let's just go back to the minor and finish up. So right now we have our icons here. So I'm going to select the icon and the page navigator, then also my header, copy and go to the major page, paste it there, and also paste in the critical page. So right now that I'm on critical, if I hold down the control key and click on major, I am navigating to the major page. Then on minor, I'm navigating to the minor page. So you can now publish, save, and publish to my workspace. So I can open this on Power BI workspace. So this is it on Power BI service. When I click on major, I have major page. When I click on critical, I have critical page. So that is all for this report. Remember that I have the file in the description if you want to follow along. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and also share this video.